If you guys are in here, let me know in the chat below. Thank you guys for joining. If you guys are in here, let me know in the chat below. Thank you guys for joining. Awesome. So it looks like people are starting to trickle in, so I want to get started right away. Today's live is going to be about the fastest way to get more followers on Instagram with minimum effort. I'm talking less than 5 minutes a day because way too many of you are doing posts on Instagram that are way too complicated, that aren't getting you followers. And quite frankly, you could be doing things that are a lot easier and getting a lot more followers from it. So in today's live, here's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how often you should be posting, what kind of posts are actually working right now, what engagement metrics actually matter. And for those of you that are wondering, likes and saves actually do nothing now for you on Instagram, and so much more. And then at the end, we're going to have a Q&A. I'm going to do a Q&A for like 15 to 20 minutes. So if you want me to do a live audit of your account, answer any questions, anything like that, make sure you're sticking around for the end. And I'm also going to start to do these lives a lot more frequently. And the things I'm about to share with you help this creator get over 105,000 followers. In fact, it helped them gain over 85,000 followers the last time I went live, like a month ago. And since then, they've gained another 20,000 followers from a few of the post types that I'm going to share with you in this live. They helped this creator gain over 120,000 followers. This creator over 177,000 followers. And remember, these are people in all different niches. Nick right here does credit and finance content. She does fitness content. He does affiliate marketing content. And this next creator, it helped gain over 200,000 followers. And guess what? That's not alone because I've helped over 336,000 students on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So please, if you aren't already, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And by the way, this live is sponsored by Manychat. If you don't know what Manychat is, it's one of the tools I'm going to be sharing with you later on that basically allows you to 5x your engagement on Instagram and be able to make more money. And if you go to the pinned comment below, you could get started with Manychat for free. So in terms of posting frequency right now, Instagram right now is penalizing creators that are posting too much. If you post more than 3 times a day on Instagram, it is going to drastically affect the amount of reach that you're getting. In fact, I would suggest that most of you are only posting 1 to 2 times a day because the maximum times that you should be posting right now a day on Instagram is going to be 3 times. Now remember, that is just when it comes to reels and photos. If you are posting on your stories, you could post 2 to 3 times a day. And again, they actually want you to post less on this. I know a lot of you right now watching this probably post way more than that on your stories, and it could be why your story views are so low. In addition to that, if you want to basically reset your story views, what you can do is take 24 hours off of posting, and then what that is going to do is that's going to allow you to get more views on your stories. In addition to that, you need to be focused on how much engagement you're actually getting in your stories, because if you're not getting a lot of engagement, it's one of the reasons you're not getting the views that you want. I just noticed that I actually forgot to put Manychat in the pinned comment here. So let me go ahead and do that quick if I'm able to. Live chat. It should be the pinned comment on the live chat. Now, once this video goes live, I'm going to put it as the pinned comment below. But you guys get the point. When it comes to posting frequency right now, for most of you, 1 to 2 times a day is going to work best. And if it's really hard for you to create that much content, posting 3 to 4 times a week is going to be totally fine too. But I'm going to be sharing with you in just a little bit a few different post types that you guys can use in order to increase the amount of reach that you get. Now, the next thing that we need to talk about are what types of posts are actually working right now. Now, all of the posts that I'm about to share with you have gone viral for really small creators. The first type of post that's working like crazy right now are going to be tutorial posts. Now, the first one right here is going to be fake versus real. So basically, she's showing what real maple syrup looks like versus what fake looks like. Now, every single one of these videos is going to be really short, and they're also going to have a description that has a ton of different information in it. So if we look at this first one, that's what she did right here. This next one right here is basically showing people how to use credit cards. So what it does is shows the entire thing in the beginning and then goes through step by step. And the reason that these types of posts work is because they basically have a built-in mechanism that forces people to need to watch the entire video. And what this does is increases the average view duration that you're getting on your posts. And then boom, Instagram wants to push out your content even more. This last way is an even better way to do it. Basically, it's a really short thing. It tells you to read the caption below, and he's got sticky notes or tape over thing, and then he reveals them as the video goes on. Again, This is a built-in mechanism that is going to increase the time that people actually spend watching your content, and it acts as a really good hook. Both of those things skyrocket the reach that you get if you use those things. The next type of post that is working like crazy right now, and I cannot emphasize this enough, are going to be memes. In specific, you should be finding memes that already work on Instagram. They could be things that have already worked within your niche, or what you could do is steal a meme that you find on Instagram and basically just change the text to make it something relevant to somebody in your niche or your ideal viewer, because these are going crazy for two reasons. One, they get shared like absolutely crazy. Two, they take almost no time for you to create. In fact, the creator that I shared with you earlier, Nick, has gained those 20,000 followers from a very simple meme post that got him millions of views. And not only did it help him gain a ton of followers on Instagram, it's also helping him grow like crazy on Facebook, and it's really driving a lot of results for his business because so many people interact with it. And then the third type of post that is working like crazy right now is going to be twofold. When it comes to the Explore feed, where you are going to see working the best, and that's what's on the right here on the screen, are going to be these carousels. But in specific, they need to be carousels that have famous people in them. For example, we have Diddy here, we have Drake here, we have Diddy here. I have no idea who this rapper is, but then we have Elon Musk, and then we have Bobby. And basically, what Instagram is showing on the Explore feed is news related stuff or things that are based on celebrities. And if we look at these two posts to the left right here, we're going to see that they're doing the same exact thing. So this first post right here basically is this guy RPN, and he is showing the iPhone 16 release, and then he has himself on the bottom. And Nick right here is showing people how to get a free American Express Platinum card, and then him on the bottom. Now, one of them is doing it by just doing a split screen video, which works perfectly fine. And Nick is doing it by doing a green screen video, which again, works perfectly fine. So these are the three types of posts that I want you guys to be focused on right now. One, things that have a built-in mechanism that are going to increase the amount of time that people actually spend watching that piece of content. Secondly, these memes right here. And again, you want to create these using the remix feature. It is going to skyrocket the reach that you get. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you're a small account right now, struggling to grow on Instagram, you need to be doing this, and it's going to drastically decrease the amount of time that you actually spend creating content. And then finally, you need to be taking advantage of big brands. You need to be taking advantage of celebrities. And if you think that you cannot do that, you are just not working hard enough on Instagram, because this is going to drastically increase the reach that you get. I want you to think about this. If you right now have 500 followers, 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers, even 10,000 followers, 99.99% of people on Instagram have no idea who you are. So in order for you to be able to actually capture their attention, you need to talk about something they care about. What do they care about? Big brands. What do they care about? New product releases. What do they care about? Celebrities. So you need to tie those three things into your content so that you can actually start to get some attention. And then once you have people caring about who you are and what you're saying, you can stray away from that. But in the beginning, this is by far the easiest way for you to be able to increase your reach. Now, when it comes to the best types of engagement that Instagram actually cares about, here's a list of them right here. And I'm going to get a sip of water before we actually go through this, because there's going to be a lot that we need to go through here. So when it comes to likes on Instagram right now, Instagram does not care about this. In fact, if you look at a lot of big creators on Instagram right now, they're hiding the number of likes that they get, because not that many people are liking stuff on Instagram anymore. When it comes to saves, again, saves were really popular when they first came out on Instagram. They really boosted your engagement if you got people to save your content, because basically that was a sign to Instagram that they liked your content and they want to see it again later. But those two things do not matter right now on Instagram. If you are focused, or even think just for 1 second how many likes you get or how many saves you get, it is not actually helping you. And when it comes to getting reach on Instagram, you getting followers is going to help you a little bit, but it's not going to help you that much. That's why I kind of have this meh face here, because it's really not going to help you and it's really not going to hurt you. The two types of engagement that you really need to be focused on are, one, going to be comments, aka the number one way to monetize your Instagram, and two, going to be shares, the number one way to increase your reach. In fact, for every share that you get on Instagram right now, that is going to be equal to 400 views. So if you could get 10 shares, you're probably going to get 4,000 or more views on your piece of content. If you could get 100, it's going to be 40,000. If you could get 1,000, 400,000, and you see where I'm going here. Ideally, what you need to be trying to do right now is you need to try to get as many people as humanly possible to share your content or to comment on your content. And we're going to walk through exactly how you can do that step by step, because if you're struggling to get comments or shares, you're definitely screwing up the next few things I'm going to share. So when it comes to how you actually get shares, you need to stop being selfish. I want you to sit and think right now about the last thing that was shared with you or the last thing that you shared with somebody. It's going to fall into probably one of three things. Either one, it's going to be something funny, humorous. Either two, it's going to be something educational or something newsworthy, aka education. Or three, it's going to be something inspirational. Maybe you shared with somebody a Porsche, maybe you shared with them a Ferrari or a watch that you want or something like that. You get the point. You share things that fit into these three buckets. What you don't share is somebody talking about their own personal experience. You don't share somebody talking about what they think, because that is not going to increase your status. You need to understand something. The only reason people share things is to increase their own status. They want to, one, signal to somebody that they are funny by showing you something funny. Two, signal to somebody that they are educated or on top of whatever is trending because they actually know things, which is going to fall into this education piece. Or they want people to, or they want to share with people the aesthetic that they are trying to portray. This could be something related to fashion. This could be something related to the way that they dress. It could be something related to the makeup that they wear, or it could be the house that they want or something like that. You get the point. It's going to be something that is actually related to whatever they want to portray themselves as. And that is how you're going to increase shares. So if you want to create content that is going to get shared, you need to be focused on hitting these three things, because if you are not able to hit these three things, it's going to decrease the amount of shares that you actually end up getting. Now, when it comes to getting comments, Manychat is by far the easiest way for you to be able to get more comments on Instagram, get more engagement on Instagram, and ultimately be able to collect more leads and make money from Instagram. These are the big three things that I want to highlight when it comes to Manychat. One, the average person that uses Manychat sees a 5x increase in their engagement because they get more comments, which equals to them getting more reach. Secondly, it could also allow you to auto respond to all of your comments, or you could set up basically these automated things that people can click on and you can answer their questions without you actually having to do it in your DMs. And this requires absolutely no technical experience. And again, if you go to the chat, I should have a pinned comment there, or it's going to be in the description of this live or the pinned comment of this live, depending on when you watch it. And you can get started with Manychat for free. If you are not using this, it's one of the reasons that your engagement is low on Instagram. I don't say this about very many things when it comes to Instagram. Manychat's definitely one of those must use. So let's look at Healthy Emmy right here. This is proof that it works. On this post, she got 1 million views. On this post, she got 1.5 million views. And I didn't use it as an example, but on this post, over 600,000 views. And here's how Manychat actually works. This is incredibly easy. You don't have to be a developer. You don't have to know anything about technology to be able to set this up. In fact, this is one that I've recently used on my own Instagram as a test. So all I had to do was come in here and make this very, very simple automation. So this is when basically all I had to do was any post or any reels, if somebody comments a specific keyword, which I wanted to be share, they would then get this basic thing here, which is, I can't wait to help you get more shares with my 7 hacks for how to get more shares on Instagram. Here's your link. Now, if we look at the results here, and again, I ran this as a very simple test. This was sent to 148 people. It was delivered to 80% of them. It was opened by 100% of them, and 80% of them clicked. So what does this mean? 80% of people clicked on this. 150 people, that's like 120 leads that I got from this. And what does that mean? That I got more leads, I got more people's emails, I got more people engaging with my content if I got 150 comments on this post, and it led to me making a lot more money for my Instagram, and you could do the same exact thing. And this is what it actually looks like. So on those 2 posts that Emmy did, which again, one of them got over 1 million views, one of them over 1.5 million views, and another that I don't have up here, over 600,000 views. This is what it actually looks like. She just says, comment recipe. And she just says comment recipe, and then she has what the actual recipe is going to be. It is literally as simple as doing that. Making a 5 to 10 second recipe video, having a very, very simple description like this, and boom, you're going to increase your engagement. You're going to increase the leads that you get. You're going to increase the money you're making on Instagram. And I bet you've already seen a ton of different people doing this. And if you're not doing it, you're missing out on engagement. You're missing out on money. You're missing out on followers. You're missing out on one of the biggest opportunities ever to skyrocket your reach on Instagram. Now, there are other ways for you to write a really good description. But first, I need another sip of water. So right here, another person that I helped grow on Instagram, I think he gained like over 400,000 followers. This is a really good description. And it's a good description because of 4 different things. 1, the time to read. So the time that it would take somebody to sit here and read this is actually going to be longer than the time of somebody actually watching the piece of content. And this is what you ideally want with your descriptions. And there's very good reason for this. 1, it's going to increase the average view duration that you actually get on that post. 2, it's going to have the video looping in the background, aka you're getting more views. But also, the far majority of people that scroll on Instagram do not have their sound on. They're at work, they're at school, they're on the train, they're going to the bathroom, they're doing all these different things, so they don't actually have their sound on. So what do they need to do? They need to actually read things or see captions, which is why you need to make sure you have text on the screen, or you need to make sure that you have a long description. In addition to that, they have a good hook, they have good spacing, and it's really easy to read. Imagine all of this stuff was scrunched up together. You'd be like, screw this, I am not reading this, I want nothing to do with this. But he spaced it out, so it's not that intimidating and it's really easy to read. On top of that, he uses emojis in here and he has a single call to action. In fact, he is using Manychat too. Comment ready and I'll send you my free beginner's guide with all the details on how to get started. And guess what this does? It increases the amount of leads that he gets. It increases the amount of money that he makes, and it increases how quickly he's growing on Instagram. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you're not using Manychat, you're really missing out. So here's what's actually working right now on Instagram. There are a few more things that we're going to go through before we're actually going to get to the Q&A. And these next few things are going to be really important, so make sure you pay attention. You need to be showing up for all 4 areas on Instagram. To make this really easy, I have an acronym for you. It's going to be HESS, H-E-S-S. You need to show up on the home page in the Reels feed. You need to show up on the Explore feed. You need to show up in search, and you need to show up in stories. So here's how you're actually going to do this. The homepage, the Reels feed, simply start uploading Reels on Instagram, continue uploading Reels on Instagram. And if you don't know what you should post or don't know why you're not getting views, I'm going to share that with you towards the end of this. Secondly, the Explore feed. Like I shared with you earlier, if you want to show up on the Explore feed, doing these carousel posts is by far the easiest way for you to do that. So if you're not uploading these carousel posts and you're not uploading Reels, guess what? You're missing out on one of the placements that's going to be incredibly important. That third placement is going to be search. The only way that you're going to show up on search, and by the way, more than 50% of people under the age of 35 don't go to Google anymore, don't go to YouTube anymore. They go to TikTok and they go to Instagram in order to search for things before going to Google. So what you need to do, whatever they're going to search for, let's say that they're searching for the best restaurants in Palm Beach. You need to make sure that that is showing up as text on the screen on your post, showing up in your description and in your transcript, aka in the voiceover of the video. If you're able to do those 3 things, you're able to get a lot of shares, a lot of comments, a lot of engagement. Well, guess what? You're going to show up in search then, and this is going to bring you more views, more followers, more reach, more influence 24/7, because 24/7 people are searching for things on Instagram. And then finally, you also need to be showing up in the stories. Those are the 4 different placements that you could show up in right now on Instagram, and you need to make sure that you're showing up in all 4 of them. Now, the next thing, what's working right now? 5 to 11 second videos, 7 seconds is a sweet spot. I really want to emphasize this. I understand that you have a lot of information you want to get across to your followers. This is very, very specific to people that are new on Instagram. You are trying to get way too much information across, and that's not what people want on Instagram. Again, as people are on Instagram, they're going to the bathroom, they're at school, they're at work, they're in between meetings. They're not sitting there wanting to listen to a 5-minute rant or a 10-minute rant or a 30-minute rant. They want 5 to 11 seconds. They want to see multiple of your videos, and they want to build a relationship with you through watching multiple videos. It's not like YouTube or not like a live where you're going to sit here for 30 to 40 minutes and actually watch this. Next, you need to understand the 5% rule. 5% rule states this: 5% of your followers are going to come, or sorry, opposite. 95% of your followers are going to come from 5% of your posts. You need to understand this. You are not going to post and get a little bit of followers, 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 and that's how you're going to hit 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 followers. Instead, what is going to happen is you are going to go viral and you're going to gain 10,000 followers overnight. You're going to go viral, you're going to gain 50,000 followers overnight. You're going to go viral, you're going to gain 100,000 followers overnight. But I will warn you, it's probably going to take you 50 to 100 posts to go viral if you don't have any experience creating content on social media. And mind you, those are 50 to 100 posts of you actually doing the right thing. And I'm saying this just to set your expectations, because I don't want you to get discouraged when you post a few times and you don't actually go viral. Now, the next thing, you need to make sure that you are focused on helping Instagram actually make more money. How do you help Instagram make more money? You help Instagram make more money by getting people to come back to Instagram. There are 3 ways to do this. Respond to your comments. Then people get a notification, they come back to Instagram, they see ads, Instagram makes more money, Instagram realizes that your account is the one that brought them back, and boom, you are going to get pushed out more on Instagram. Secondly, getting people to share your content. The same thing happens. Somebody is going to share that content in the group chat. They're going to share it in the DMs. People are going to get notifications. They're going to come back to Instagram. Instagram's going to make more money. They're going to see that your account, your content is the reason that that happened. And then boom, they're going to push out your stuff. And then finally, posting in a broadcast channel. If you don't already have a broadcast channel, I strongly suggest you go ahead and create one. Now, we need to go through what is not working on Instagram, but first, I need a little bit of water. So I have 6 things here. I think there's 6 things here that are not working on Instagram, and I cannot emphasize this enough. I might get a little passionate here. First and foremost, posting content you cannot justify or prove. What do I mean by this? If you are new to Instagram, you should not be recreating the wheel. You should be recreating posts that did well for other people recently. If you cannot justify that or prove that it did well for somebody else, don't even bother wasting your time creating that piece of content, because 99.99% of the time, it is not going to work. Second, you should not be spending a lot of time creating content for Instagram. For 99% of you, you just shouldn't, because memes work really well. Short posts work really well. You should be spending the majority of your time researching content to make, and then a little bit of your time actually creating that content, because doing the research is what's actually going to help you increase your reach. Third, you should never, and I say never, say link in bio on Instagram. Instead, you need to be using a tool like Manychat, which is going to increase your reach. If you say link in bio, it's going to decrease your reach. Even though Instagram says that it doesn't, here's how this actually works. Instagram wants to make money. The way that Instagram makes money is by keeping people on Instagram. If you say link in bio, where are people going? They're going to your website. They're going to your sponsor's website. They're going to your affiliate website. They're going to some other website. They might even be going to YouTube. And Instagram does not want this, so they are going to shut that post down. Instagram can say whatever they want, but I can assure you it's probably hurting your reach. Third, or fourth rather, having multiple call to actions. You should not do this. You cannot tell people to like, comment, save, share. Don't tell them to do that. Instead, tell them to do one thing. I want you to think about this right now. Let's say you have a friend, or maybe you have a kid, or maybe you have a coworker, or whatever. If you are trying to get somebody to do something, if you ask them to do 5 things, or you ask them to do one thing, which one of those is more likely to get done? Of course, when you ask them to do one thing, because if you ask them to do 5 things, they get overwhelmed, they end up actually doing nothing. Now, the next thing that you need to be focused on is making sure that you are not creating content that doesn't get comments, doesn't get shares. Can't emphasize this enough. You guys saw the slide earlier. Likes don't matter. Saves don't matter. Getting more followers, yes, that's helpful. But if you really want to skyrocket your reach and skyrocket the followers you're getting, you'd be focused how many comments you get, how many shares you get. And then finally, reposting content from other platforms, especially with their watermark, does not work on Instagram. I understand if you don't have that much time and you're doing the bare minimum and that's what you do, then great. But posting the same content on YouTube Shorts, on Instagram Reels, on TikTok, it's probably not going to work. Why? Instagram wants really short content. TikTok wants either really short content or content over a minute long. YouTube Shorts wants content that's in a totally different way. And all the different platforms have different things that they actually care about. So you can't take the same post without changing it a little bit and put it on all three and expect for it to actually do that well. On top of that, you need to understand it like this. Instagram has certain people on it that act a certain way. TikTok, certain people on it that act a certain way. LinkedIn, certain people on it, but act a certain way. So let me ask you a question. If you were going to tell a story about something that happened at school or at work, and you were telling a coworker, and you were telling your spouse, your mom or dad, and you were telling your grandma, would you tell that story a little bit differently each time? Yeah, you would. You need to think about TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all these different platforms the same way because you need to adjust it slightly for the context in which you're actually talking. Now, few different things I wanted to go through really quickly, and I promise we're almost at the end of this. Spotting trends early. You need to be spotting trends by doing three different things. One, going through adding all of your competitors to your close friends list or to your favorites so that you actually get notified whenever they post so you can see exactly what they posted, how quickly it's getting shared, how quickly it's getting comments, how quickly it's getting engagement so you know what topics are working. Or if you just come into Instagram, go to do a search for something, you're going to see all of these different things right here, which are trending topics. Or you come into your tools, go to inspiration, it's going to say new right here, and this is going to show you all of the different things that are actually trending on Instagram. Now, here is the holy grail. If you haven't already, take a picture of this. This is how you actually succeed on Instagram. You have an idea. You prove out that idea, aka you justify you should actually make it by seeing whether or not anybody else has had success with that before. If no, go back to step one. If yes, go to step three. Create that piece of content, upload that piece of content, and then learn from it. If it didn't do well, you need to ask yourself why it didn't do well. Was it the length? Was it the pacing? What did you do differently than what you saw in step number two? And one of the easiest ways for you to actually get really good at this is take your post, take the post you modeled after, play them both side by side, and it will be very, very obvious to you why your post didn't actually work. And if you keep doing this over and over again, it is going to skyrocket the reach that you get, and you are going to see results like these creators that I shared with you earlier. 100,000 followers, 120,000 followers, 180,000 followers, 200,000 followers. These are the type of results that you get if you start using this cycle right here. Now, in terms of how I can actually help you, before we get into the Q&A, there are four different things I can do to help you. One, I have thousands of free YouTube videos. This is your first time watching my content. I literally upload a video every single day, very direct, very tactical, what you need to do to grow on these platforms. Two, I can audit your account. Three, we could get on a one-on-one phone call. Or four, just like all the creators I've shared with you in this video, I can help you in my mentorship program, which is going to guarantee that you're going to grow. If you're interested in any of those things, go to robertbenjaminconsulting.com or go to the description of this video. It has the links for all of these different things and how I can actually help you. And for now, let's get into the Q&A. Don't forget to sign up for Manychat for free at the comment that is pinned in the chat. So I'm going to be entering the chat now. And if you guys have any questions, please ask away. Awesome. John. So ManyChat is not applicable to TikTok, but TikTok actually has their own feature that basically does the same thing that ManyChat does. Instagram just doesn't actually have that feature built in. TikTok does have that feature built in. If you go into your settings, you'll actually be able to see that in there. And as a reminder, please leave a comment. You guys have any questions, leave a comment below. I'm going to be getting to all of those different questions right now. I don't have Instagram. Always wanted to see me go live. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to start going live a lot more. Those of you that don't know, I'm down in Florida for the winter. When I'm down in Florida, all I really do is work. So I work a lot more in the winter. So you guys will see me go live a lot more. Getting a lot of views on YouTube, but no more. I don't know if you're talking about Instagram. I don't know if you're talking about TikTok. I don't know what you're actually talking about. Posting times and hashtag strategies for Instagram. if you want to know these, I literally upload videos about this. So like literally just come over to YouTube. Actually, I don't think I'm sharing my screen right now. Boom, I'm sharing my screen now. Literally come over to YouTube. Best time to post on Instagram. If you do a search for this, what are you going to see? You are going to see me pop up. Here it is right here. I made this video a month ago. The same thing with hashtags. I made a video on that also. It's very simple. It'll tell you the 3 best times to post and the best hashtag strategies that you need to make sure that you're using. Does the Instagram algorithm care about titles? Yes. So the Instagram algorithm does care about titles. The thing that you want to be focused on when it comes to your title on Instagram is you want to make sure that that has like whatever the topic that you're actually going after. Let me give you a perfect example here. So I'm actually going to pull up my Instagram and we're going to do this live. I'm going to just find a random post on Instagram. Okay, so this one right here. I actually don't like that one. Let me find a random one. Okay, so this one right here, right? When my girl asked me right here, that is the actual topic of what this is. So that's why they want that to show both in the description and that this new thing, folks. And they have it showing as text on the screen. So yeah, like you want to be able to depict to Instagram, like, okay, this is what this is actually about. This is what you need to care about. And I want you to focus on this. Now my camera's focused. What if you struggle with frequency? The easiest way to combat this is by doing those remix memes. I cannot emphasize this enough. You can do those memes like 3 to 5 different times a week, and it is going to drastically increase the amount of views that you get, the amount of followers that you get. It's the easiest way for you to get posts out. In addition to that, I would strongly recommend that you batch create content. For example, with my YouTube content, more likely than not, I record all of my YouTube content for the week because I upload a video almost every single day. I record almost all of it Saturday, Sunday. Sometimes I'll record on a Wednesday, but basically what this allows me to do is focus on my business the rest of the time or real life the rest of the time because I don't just have unlimited time to be able to create content here. Why does great content not skyrocket? So again, I don't mean to be mean when I say any of this. I'm from New York originally, so if I come off a little blunt, that's the way it is. If your content doesn't get views, your content is not good. It means it's not getting shared. It means it's not getting commented on. It means that you need to go back to that 4-step thing that I showed with you before with idea, with prove, with create, with learn. You're doing something wrong in one of those steps. Can I watch this video again? Yes. Once I end the live, it should just like not keep looping, but it'll be a live video on my channel and you'll be able to keep watching this. What is the TikTok feature called? You know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and look that up for you. Come over to TikTok. You're going to come over to profile. You're going to go into TikTok Studio. And it might not be TikTok Studio, actually. Let me try to find this for you. Let me actually look this up. How to DM people that comment specific words on TikTok. Okay, so what it's called is it's called automatic message. So if you just go to Google right now and type in how to DM people that comment specific words on TikTok, it literally gives you a walkthrough on how to do this. Basically, it's just called automatic message. So you could toggle a keyword auto reply, and it works very similar to Manychat, but again, that's for TikTok only. Super helpful. I appreciate that. Never opened a TikTok account before. You want to start one to sell clothes. How would you go about starting a new page? I would literally just start the page on your phone. Make sure that you go through and set everything up correctly. The bio needs to be set up correctly. And then I would start posting. Now, right now with TikTok, you do need to warm the account up a little bit. So I'd make sure you're following competitors. I would make sure that you're engaging with content on TikTok. And I would start just posting 1 to 3 times a day, 3 times a day max. And by the way, Basically, all these platforms now are focused more on you not spamming the platform and more on you actually creating good content. But I would just go through and do that. And that's how I would get started. I would also start literally, I have a playlist on my YouTube channel that it's got to have hundreds of videos about how to grow on TikTok. I would go through like the last 10 of those because those are going to be most relevant for this latest algorithm. And that's where I would start. Hashtags not that important anymore. So when it comes to hashtags, I would say that like if we had a pie chart, right, it would take up 1% of whether or not your post does well. Having good hashtags on your post will help a good post do even better. It will not make a horrible post do good. That's the way that I would think about it. Posting forever, account hasn't grown. I do everything. I'm gonna bet my last dollar that you don't do anything or don't do everything. Again, like you didn't put your username in here, but if you did, I could have actually looked at it. Why my watch time hours decreased? I'm not sure if you're referring to Instagram, to YouTube, to TikTok. If you're talking about the watch time hours on YouTube to get monetized, it's only for a 365-day period. So if you got some of those watch time hours 366 days ago, that's why they're not showing anymore on there. But they haven't actually decreased. Just the ones that count towards monetization have decreased. Posting reels 60 seconds long, is this the wrong length? More likely than not, yes, that is the wrong length. If you're not getting views, I would say it's the wrong length. You want to focus on taking those 60 seconds, and this is a skill, and getting it down to 30, or getting it down to 15, or getting it down to 12, or how can you get it down to 5 seconds where it's just the hook, and then the actual content is going to be in the description, like some of the examples that I share with you here. If you haven't been posting consistently for months, multiple times over 4 years, should you create a new account? If you don't already have a lot of followers, I would say, yeah, I would make a new account because it will give you a little bit of a boost in the beginning. Your friends can't see your page/account, what's really going on. I don't know if you've posted anything political or if you've done anything to get shadow banned. If you haven't done anything to get shadow banned, you're probably not shadow banned, but I would just make sure that like you're not doing anything like that. You should be able to actually go into your Instagram and check your account status and see whether or not they're lowering any of your reach. I'll show you how to do that. If you come into, let me see. Okay, if you come on to Instagram, you're going to click right up here. This is how you're going to see if you're actually shadow banned on Instagram. You're going to click those three lines in the top right hand corner. When it says search here, I want you to type in stat, STAT. It's going to say account status, and then it's actually going to pull this up for you. If you don't have all green here, you could potentially be shadow banned. Okay, I'm going to do 3 more questions. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 3 more questions, but I'm only going to do questions now that have been sent in like the last 30 seconds. So I'm going to give you guys a few seconds, take a sip of St. James. If you guys haven't had this tea before, absolutely amazing. Not sponsored. I have nothing to do with them. It's just amazing. You're really the go-to social media. I really appreciate that. Okay, leave the comments below. Again, I'm only doing new comments. It is 11:38 right now. I'm only going to do new ones. Will I do a live for how to grow on YouTube? Yes, I'm gonna. So the next live I'm gonna do is probably gonna be about the TikTok algorithm. But I want to start doing this like 1 to 2 times a week. If you guys enjoyed this, I want to keep doing this. Ryan's Gaming. Why are my views getting 0 to 30? Why are my reels getting 0 to 30 views? I think the reason your reels are getting 0 to 30 views is again, you're getting no shares, you're getting no comments, you're not creating content that people actually want to see. And more likely than not, if you're getting that low of views, you're actually creating content that is just not in the right format. It could be not vertical format. It could be that the quality is really low, but there's definitely something wrong if you're not getting that many. Is 10,000 followers for 3 months good? Yeah. I mean, listen, I really want to emphasize this. Like the creator that I shared with you earlier, Nick, I'm going to share my screen again. Where is he? Nick. So he has 105,000 followers now. He was able to quit his full-time job with just like 30,000 followers. So 10,000 followers is awesome. Personally, I was able to quit my full-time job. And now this is with YouTube, not with Instagram. But as I was able to quit my full-time job and I only had 20,000 subscribers. It's really not about the number of followers that you have, the number of subscribers you have. It's really about the relationship that you have with them and whether or not you're actually able to monetize them. So 10,000, I mean, yeah, that's great. Um, I've had Instagram since 2012, used to get a lot of engagement before the algorithm came into play. Should I use old posts as ads? No, I would not run ads. Um, Especially if you're boosting posts. If you are a business and you are running ads, that's totally fine. But I wouldn't boost your post to increase engagement, because then what you're actually doing is you're really just making yourself a worse off content creator. Because here's the deal. You could have an idea, you could prove it, you could create it, you could learn from it. But if you then add running ads into it, then all your posts look like they do good, but you're not actually doing anything. And I just wouldn't pay for ads unless you're trying to make money from it or you have a business or something like that, because you just don't have to do that to get reach right now. Okay, last one I'm going to answer. And again, I really, really appreciate all of you guys tuning into this. This is crazy that I could have so many people on here. How can I find remix memes? So this is how you actually do it. I'm going to show you. So you need to find a meme first, like this meme right here. We're going to click on these three dots right here. We're going to click that. And then literally right here, it says remix. Boom. That's all you have to do to remix memes. And again, these memes go absolutely crazy. I'm going to share my screen one last time. We're going to pull up Nick's account right here. And literally, there are an endless amount of accounts that I could show you with this. So if we look here, this one didn't do that good yet, but this one, 40,000 views. This one, 40,000 views, 12,000 views, 100,000 views, 13,000 views, 22,000 views. He had one that did like really, this one, 280,000 views. So literally, that was like, I don't know, 500,000 views right there. And he literally spent absolutely no time creating that content simply because he was remixing memes. Now, again, I really appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in. I would strongly suggest you get Manychat again at the pinned comment below, or it should be the pinned comment in the actual comment section. It's going to help 5x your engagement, going to help you make more money from Instagram. And pretty much every big Instagram creator that I work with is using Manychat either to grow faster, get more engagement, or to be able to make more money from Instagram. And if you want my help, again, robertbenjaminconsulting.com. I can do a phone call. I can audit your account. I have a mentorship program. The average person that goes through my mentorship program gains tens of thousands of followers. It's absolutely insane. I would have never guessed that I'd be able to help so many people, but it's honestly crazy. I will pull this up for you guys really quick, and then I'm going to be ending this. But let me pull this up. So if I share my screen with you all, boom, I'm going to go to add stage. I'm going to go to here. So this is the landing page. These are growth results right here. Over 160,000 followers, over 30,000, over 80,000, over 300,000, over a million, over 100, over 100, over 90, over 100, over 100, over 100, over 100. Literally, I mean, and these are all different niches too. I've helped so many people, and these are just a few different niches. And now a lot of these people have gone on to grow a lot more. At the time that I created that, that's how many they've grown. If you're serious about growing on Instagram, I definitely recommend you check it out. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Go check out the other content. Make sure you're subscribed. I really appreciate every single one of you.